A 15-year-old in Yonkers is charged with the murder of a 14-year-old aspiring rapper who was slain on a New York subway platform on Saturday. The 14-year-old aspiring rapper recently moved to Yonkers, and it says that he may have been the instigator in a fight with a rival teenager that left him fatally stabbed on a New York City platform this weekend on Saturday around 3 p.m. Prosecutors downgraded the original second-degree murder charge filed by police against 15-year-old Kelvin Martinez to first-degree manslaughter after learning Ethan Reyes had cornered Martinez and confronted him with a broomstick. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office said the altercation occurred just before 3 p.m. on Saturday in the uptown platform of the 137th Street City College I-train station in Hampton Heights. Reyes was known by his rap name Notti Osama, and he had his liver punctured when he was stabbed once in the abdomen and died a short time later as EMS transferred him to a hospital. At Martinez's arraignment, the 15-year-old, on Sunday, Assistant District Attorney Daniel Markovsky said investigators were still looking into the circumstances leading up to the fatal stabbing. But according to Markovsky, Reyes and Martinez knew each other and were associates of rival gangs that had a series of escalations in recent weeks. On Saturday afternoon, Reyes and two of his friends were walking at the 137th Street and Broadway when they came across Martinez, who went into the train station to catch an uptown train. Reyes grabbed a broomstick, and he and his friends followed Martinez into the station. They cornered him at the north end of the platform. Reyes hit Martinez with a stick, and Martinez pulled out a knife and swung at Reyes, hitting him in the abdomen. One of Reyes' friends also swung a sharp object at Martinez, and Reyes, despite being stabbed, pushed Martinez onto the train tracks where he landed on his back. Martinez then climbed up and fled the station as Reyes staggered down the platform and collapsed on the staircase. Martinez was arrested a few hours later with the help of his mother, and he was interviewed by the NYPD detectives and the district attorney's investigators. He was also treated at a hospital for an injured back and two punctured wounds to his left hip that were sustained in the altercation. The district attorney's office needs to further investigate and explore possible legal defenses such as justification, as well as investigate Mr. Martinez's claim that in the preceding weeks, Mr. Martinez was assaulted by members of Mr. Reyes's gang. Markovsky told the judge Sunday, according to the transcript provided by the district attorney's office. The prosecutor did not request bail, and it was agreed that Martinez would be allowed to live outside New York City at a location known to prosecutors but not identified publicly because of a significant risk of violent retaliation against Martinez. Reyes was known on social media for drill rapping, which Mayor Eric Adams assailed in February as alarming for its depiction of gun and gang violence. A makeshift memorial is at West 140th Street and Broadway in New York, a block where he lived up until moving with his family to Young Avenue in Yonkers a few months ago. Notti is spelled out in candles with a keyboard on the ground. There is also a poster on which friends and others wrote messages. Family, these things are a mess. I don't want to blame it on drill music, because when we think of it, to blame it on music can't be the biggest picture to blame it on. The biggest reason can't be music. Think about it. He's a 14-year-old. So where did he even get into that whole gang-affiliated scene when he's only 14? And also Martinez, which is only 15. How did they even get involved with the gang life? It couldn't have been from music by itself. Why do I say that? Because I'm pretty sure that in their neighborhood, there's other young gentlemen that live in those same areas that do not affiliate themselves with gangs. So it can't be the music. It has to be the upbringing. It has to be the saying that we all know, that little children are sponges. So if he's 14, basically he's still a baby. He's just getting into the teen world. Because at 11, you're 11, that's not a teen. 12, 13, 14. So he's 3 years into teen world, right? Young kid, I'll say. Not a baby, but he's a young kid. Somebody had to teach him that mannerism. Where did he get it from? Older cousin, older brother, older uncle. In some cases, your whole family members is all gang members. So you take on that from being around them. Like me, with my sons, I never allowed them to go around their relatives where the mother and father let their kids run amok and be gang-like at a child's age. That's like having your 8-year-old and he's running around with his hat backwards, pants sagging, talking about cuz, blood, or whatever. That has nothing to do with music. That has to do with parenting. And also, we can't say, no, we got to blame it on the community, blame it on the culture. No, we have to blame it on individuals. Because if that's the case, every kid that listens to rap music would be a gang member, would be out there drilling. But we know that's not proven facts. So it has to have started somewhere else. The masses of it. Not saying that music doesn't play its part in influencing, but it all didn't start from music. Music is not the biggest problem of it. Music can't be like the number one problem that we turn to. Oh, yes, because of the music. No, we got to come to realization and come to the absolute truth that somewhere parenting stopped. Somewhere I became lenient, because at my age, my moms them, they stayed on your head. They didn't get too lenient. Every now and then they'll let you kind of spread your wings. But when you got 18, 17 and too hard-headed, they'd cut you loose. They'd tell you something like, hey, you gotta go, because you don't want to do right or something like that. But you can't be in elementary, junior high school and you can do what you want to do. Not under my guidance. So that means the guidance is off. And I hear people say, no, it's because of education. You got to get more educated. Okay, you can get more educated. But that's still something that has to be put in you as a young age. Hey, go to school, go to college, get yourself together. That way when you get grown, you won't have such a hard time. Somebody still has to instill that in you. So the things we're looking at is nothing but a product of what people are instilling in these young people. Even if you're not directly putting it in them, it could be from you where you let them go and dwell most of the time. Like every weekend I let you go to your cousin's house that live in the projects, and they some bad little kids, even though they my nephews, and I know they bad and out of control, and I know they parents just let them run amok. But I still allow you to go because that's your cousin. No, you got to earn your own blame and say, hey, no, I take responsibility for that. And that's why in my case, I'm not going to let you do it. Now, that would at least, you would pick it up when you get in on your own years, when you get out of high school or something. Now you just pick that up on your own. But as long as you're just like a little child, I'm going to try to make sure you get the best information as possible. I'm going to tell you and show you all of the people that was somebody. Oh yeah, see my man's right there sitting on the liquor store ground. He used to be a professional boxer. Oh yeah, he was going to college and played ball at UNLV. I'm going to show you all that and say, see, this is what gangs will get you. I'm not going to give you the glorified version of it. And that's what people do. They give these young people a glorified version of it, especially nowadays with this whole social media internet thing, which I understand that totally, because most kids, you're going to allow them to have a phone. But still at the same time, while you have that phone, I allow you to do it, and you could possibly go on different places and sites and get influenced. At the same time, I have to be the one talking to you too. People listen to the ones they talk to the most. Why you think people believe in their preacher so much? Because every Sunday for the last 20 years, you've dealt with that man every day. For the last 20 years. He was talking in your ear. Won't. Same with your children. Who are you going to allow to talk in their ear is going to become the influential person to them. Whether it's the street, the little homies, or whatnot. So that means you have to take time out. Even if you go to work and you're tired when you get off work, you need to have some form of communication with your kids and talk to them and be like, hey, look, this is the way it goes. This is what you need to get into. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to blame it on music. We're going to take our own responsibility as parents, and that's just the bottom line. I have to at least put enough in you where you will understand. When you get 17 or 18, you'll understand, hey, my pops have been telling me this stuff for the last 10 years, that if I hang out in the streets, something bad is going to happen to me. So now that way, when you do it and something bad happens to you, you have a reference to fall back on. And that's all I'm saying with it, family. And that's the problem. That's a part of the problem. And this is how we become a solution to the problem. Especially somebody that grew up in the streets, you definitely know the outcome. And with that, I'm going to say this is the news in you. North, east, west, south. Unite from every alley in Cali, intersection and back street. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door.